Healthy.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the oil. Okay, it looks black, but there's no little shards of sparkly metal in there. So that means that the motor is not like torn apart inside.
Okay, good.
So that's good. You can hear the clicking of the injectors, and that's fine. What you don't want to hear is something that would be a more pronounced knocking, which would be like a lower sound or more noise coming out of the engine.
Okay.
I'm going to look at the oil cap, and I'm going to see if it's milky.
Mm-hmm.
That would mean that the coolant is mixing with the oil, and that's an expensive repair.
Okay.
So that looks good.
Looks good.
And then this is the engine coolant.
Okay.
And this looks nice and pink. So sometimes I pop this open, I just see how dirty it is, but this one looks good.
Okay.
I look on this side of the motor where all these belts and pulleys are, and I'm looking for major oil leaks where you're gonna see lots of moisture, and I don't see any of that. Okay, so once I rule out a bad motor and major oil leaks, then we can actually take it for a test drive.
Okay.
All right, now they give us this little test track here.
That's Subaru.
So that way you can try to get into all the gears and make sure the transmission is going to work.
Okay.
But just right off the bat, this thing feels like it has the right amount of power.
Okay.
The speed limit on this test track as fast as you can possibly go.
Holy cow.
Well, I mean, they probably tell you it's like 25 miles an hour, but I mean, we're trying to get into fifth gear.
Yeah. Here we go.
There's second, there's third, there's fourth. Okay, so we got into fourth gear.
Yeah.
And everything felt great.
Okay, good.
I feel like this would be a great buy.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's got the cosmetic issues. Obviously, the person that owned this vehicle is not very conscientious.
Yeah, they didn't take care of it.
And I'll just tell you from experience, the person who owned this had a high interest loan because they are not responsible.
Yeah.
And that's why they didn't pay their bill, and that's why it got got repossessed, and that's why the bank sent it here.
There's some food in here too.
Well, that's for free.
Get
Okay,
a snack
now
while you're driving
PT
home.
Cruiser, I hope it starts,
Okay.
because this is going to be an example where you get to hear a bad engine.
Okay.
Okay, I feel good. I got the
That's-
mileage up. This is a clean car. I think it's going to start, and I think the engine is going to knock. Oh, sounds decent.
All right.
Oh wait.
Is it knocking? I can hear it, I think.
Yeah, it's knocking.
Okay.
Jeez, I'm so good. So you can hear the air going in. Oh, you look at. Okay, this is like Armor All.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what they sprayed in the engine bay
To make it clean?
To clean it, yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
they
because it does look
obviously-
cleaner.
They didn't wash it all out.
Yeah.
The motor doesn't sound bad. Like I would still say this is a good motor.
Okay.
Briefly, I did hear a faint knocking, and sometimes it just takes the engine some time to circulate. Circulate the oil to make funny sounds go away. So
Okay.
I'm guessing that's what happened. But it actually sounds okay now. So let's give it a drive.
All right. All right, let's see how it goes.
All right, that's decent. You know,
Okay.
I definitely felt the shift. It wasn't smooth
Yeah.
as butter, but I would say that's a healthy transmission.
Okay.
Yeah, this
Good.
is a car worth bidding on. Okay. Anything else in particular that is interesting to you as far as like inspecting?
I don't know, maybe we can like inspect like a sports car.
Okay.
Get something familiar. It will be familiar.
Here's one.
No key.
When it says no key, a lot of times the battery and the fob could be dead.
Uh,
And so if you take the fob and you try to hit the start button with the fob, sometimes it'll work.
still says no key.
Still says no key. So
So
this
you think that's
fob,
the fob?
the battery's probably dead.
So we can't even see if it works.
Cool. But also, when you're buying a convertible, it's super important to make sure the top works really good
Mhm.
because they have a tendency to have problems and they're really expensive to repair. This may have already been purchased, so I don't want to drive it.
Yeah.
But in general, my impression of these cars is I don't like them.
Mm-hmm.
This in particular is Dodge. It's the least reliable of the American brands.
Mm-hmm.
And the kind of customer who's going to buy this car likely has a hard time getting financed and is young, so probably makes less money,
Probably.
more difficult to sell.
Okay.
We're finally home back in Arizona where it's nice and sunny outside, perfect weather. Okay, I have very big news. I'm on the road and I'm currently on my way to go I'm not for sure buying it yet, but I'm gonna go check out this 2011 MX-5 Miata. It has 200,000 miles, which is definitely the worst part about the car. According to the seller, there's no mechanical issues, which take that to face value. Obviously, always check that yourself. And it's in this really cool silver color, but the strategy that I'm going to try and tackle is finding sports cars that don't have any mechanical issues. I'm trying to find cars that have no mechanical issues only cosmetic issues that I'll be able to fix because I don't know anything about mechanics. So this Miata has dents in all the fenders but one, and then scratches around the car. And then the soft top is really sun faded. Out here in Arizona, if you leave your car outside and you have a soft top, over a long time, it's gonna get faded, and if you don't wash it and don't take care of it. So I'm gonna look at it. Hopefully I don't have to replace that soft top. Hopefully just get a nice wash and do some other things to try and fix that. So we're gonna have to go see. It's listed at $3,500, so we're gonna have to negotiate a little bit in order to get a good deal. If there's no mechanical issues, then I'll get the car and I'll be able to drive it home. On the freeway going 60, went 70. Feels good, feels smooth, brakes feel okay. It's gonna take a lot of work to make it look good. 60, went 70. Feels good, feels smooth, brakes feel okay. It's gonna take a lot of work to make it look good. Looks good.
Yeah, it looks great.
I normally just take my leg off and put it aside, and then I have to quickly take my socket off just so I can take my whole leg off, and I'll just hide my leg over here so it's not in anyone's way. There's pros and cons to bringing my leg to the gym. If I don't bring it, I have to hop over with my weights, and if I do bring it, I don't have to do that. But if I do bring my leg, then I can't do this. So it's kind of this weird back and forth of taking my leg off, putting.
Are you really the last person to find out about the Skip Ads Forever button? This is Pi, and if it sounds familiar to you, it's
I'm a 3D artist, and in this video, I turned Minecraft's new mobs into the most overcomplicated, mutated boss versions I could possibly come up with, and even got a real
I flew
mod
all the way to
developer
LA to break
them.
into Carter's apartment, specifically to try the 5090 because I didn't get one. And I just want to try it. Carter, you need better security. Your door was just open. I just walked in. What has he got in here? I'm kind of hungry. Oh yeah, that's mine. Hey, low-key, pretty decent apartment, but I need to find that PC. Oh, word? Yup, this thing is sick. 5090, 9800 X3D, 64 gigs of RAM. Better than my PC. He's got a 480 hertz monitor too. Dog, why do you need that? You play Terraria. I downloaded the finals because this thing pushes the graphics card. I don't think it's possible for this thing to crash, but I'm gonna try my best. This looks unreal. Off rip, 480 hertz is crazy. And it's actually hitting that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I have to steal this PC. I need this type of. What the hell is going on?
When building a gaming PC, you should never have to use a power drill or a hammer, unless Mr. Yeaster visits your office and gives you a project that we'll talk about a bit later. If you've been living under a rock, Mr. Yeaster is a content creator that does all sorts of crazy PC building experiments, and he also developed Yeaster Paste, and it's actually sold at Micro Center and Staples. He dropped by our ZTT office the other day, and of course he showed up with a box of Yeaster Paste, so we're good to go for the next few years worth of builds. To be honest, I've always had a surplus of thermal paste, so his product was never really on my radar until now. What's really cool is that they come with a practice tool, so you can apply your paste, push down the clear plastic card, and then you can see if it spreads evenly across the CPU. It was really cool spending the afternoon with him though. I had no idea that he lived this close by. I gave him a full tour of the ZTT studio, we then went to lunch and he ordered a hot dog, and then we came back to the studio and recorded an obnoxious video for his channels. He's a pretty cool dude, and I think we're gonna be hanging out more in the near future. So feel free to post your collab ideas, I wanna see some good ones.
I'm a PC gamer.
But tell us your names and number 4.
12600KF, a RTX 37 2 gigs.
You can. And he is any point. He's Sonic. They're all focused V4 GX and Core V2 GX PSUs feature better heat dissipation than they're today.
The most
100.
If I actually didn't want to share the total number of hours, I actually really respect. What game
today?
Numbers 1 through 5. Can you tell us what game you've spent the most hours in?
It's an MMO or a Kingdom I've been playing for 10 years, probably a couple hundred hours every couple of months. So I don't want to go any further than that.
If I actually didn't want to share the total number of hours, I actually really respect. True gamer moment.
For me, it would be Dota 2. Got about 1,100 on there, but I've stopped. Since.
Good for you.
My most played game is definitely Rocket League. I probably have about 2,500 plus hours in it.
I think it's World of Tanks, maybe at 900 hours-ish.
My most played game is the original Destiny, and I probably have close to like 1,500 hours in that game.
Right away, I ask people what games they have the most hours in, because I feel like that gives a really good hint into what kind of gamer they are. Like contestant number 1 said MMO. There's like 2 for console, and ain't nobody putting a ton of hours in there. So right away, I knew, must be a PC gamer. Number 4, how big is your monitor?
27 inches.
Tiny, just absolutely puny.
What?
I was hoping they'd say something bigger than 27, because then I'd kind of assume that it was actually just a TV, but 27 is pretty standard. Number 1, how did you choose your gamer tag?
Oh boy, I was writing a story, and that was the name of the main character. I just spent 10 years writing a short story that turned into a novel, and that's the name I picked. Whoops.
Number 2, what's the nicest part of your setup?
I think it's my driving simulator. It's a fully built aluminum profile with a seat, basic haptic setup, and monitor and a wheel, direct drive wheel.
As a reminder, if any of Bell's or Plouf's guesses match at any point, that person will be removed from the lineup.
No one has been eliminated yet.
Yay.
You didn't choose the same person?
You picked wrong.
Contestants, what was your first PC like?
My first PC is the one I'm using right now.
The first one is also the only one I have, but it's it's got a Ryzen 5 3600 and a 1660 Super, and I think 32 gigs of DDR4 and 1 terabyte SSD, 2 terabyte hard drive.
I had an old Dell Optiplex that I made a sleeper build in, and some old parts in there and some newer ones to make it my own little computer for home use.
In my opinion, if you've built a sleeper PC, you're gonna sit there and tell me like, oh, it had XYZ in it. You're not gonna tell me it was a mix of like old and new parts. It didn't seem like he was confident in what he was talking about there.
Dang, it's gonna make me sound old. Phantom 2 X4 965 Black Edition with a 5770.
Nice.
Old school, Antec 300.
My first computer I got in 2003, and it was my parents went to a local shop and gave them $500 and said, build something. I don't even know what was in it.
Number 2, what would you consider to be high refresh rate?
240 hertz, 144. Okay.
Plouf will now select one more person who he thinks is definitely not the console gamer.
Numbers 1 through 5, how many monitors do you have? Starting with number 5.
I only have one because my desk is about this big.
It depends how you count. counted. I have had up to 3, but my brothers have cannibalized my setup since I moved to university, so 1.
I have 3 and a projector, so I can watch movies in bed.
This is a hard question to answer. I lost count. 7.
Okay.
4 of them is for the driving simulator / flight sim. The other 3 are for my desk.
I've got 3, but one of them's a hand-me-down that's got a deadline right in the middle.
Nice.
Ideal. Number 4. Do you watch anime?
No, my brother does, but I've just never really gotten into it.
Interesting. Everyone laughed when I asked number 4 if he watches anime, but there is logic behind it. If you don't watch anime, you're a little scared of the unknown. You don't like braving into things that you haven't done before, and that's a console gamer mindset. A PC gamer is an anime watcher and they're proud, or they're adamantly against it because they've watched it and they didn't like it, not just, I've never really watched it.
What's your favorite anime?
Oh, I don't watch anime. It's for absolute sickos. I'm not joking. Leave that. Number 5. Why PC?
I didn't want to pay for online anymore. I mean, my parents were paying for it anyways, but I figured if I could just play games that online that were free is probably easier. Use a mouse, use a keyboard, whatever.
Number 3. What do you use your other monitors for?
One of them is for Discord. One of them is for Spotify and like just random tasks that I have it for. They're pretty useless in the grand scheme of things, though.
Sounds about right.
Bell will mark down one more person who he is certain is a PC gamer.
We do not have our first elimination.
Really?
Oh. Plouf, I hate to say you're wrong, man. You gotta be wrong.
Number 4. What's the biggest digital marketplace on PC?
I forget the PC part picker? Or
no,
what do you
digital
mean?
games.
Oh, digital games. Steam.
Okay. This is tough.
Jan, can you please take a step back and sit on the couch?
Wow. We got him, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2 really seemed like an obvious PC gamer to me. When you say you've got like 7 monitors, you've got a streaming setup, you've got a racing sim, at that point, like your racing sim alone is probably not console based if you've got peripherals for it. You're probably playing on a PC.
Using a racing sim setup with a console doesn't really make sense, especially when there's haptics and direct drive. I don't even know if there's a console that can do that, but even if you could, I don't think most people would. So hearing that racing sim, clear in my mind, PC gamer. Number 5, do you play any competitive games?
Yes. I play Valorant, Counter-Strike, and sometimes League of Legends.
Disgusting. Great.
Yeah. I'm horribly toxic online.
Yeah. Number 3, what's the best Christmas present you've ever received?
What? What is that question? It doesn't have anything to do with computers.
What if you say Xbox?
That's I use PlayStation. Oh, a pair of skis. I've gotten skis for Christmas. That was a great Christmas gift.
An interesting thing, when I asked number 3 about their favorite Christmas gift, I'd said, maybe you'll say Xbox. And he'd said, no, I use PlayStation, which made me think that maybe that was a slip up in their console gamer. Especially someone who does sports, at least in my mind, from all my friends, people who skied and snowboarded, liked those games, which were only on console. Number 4, what's your favorite controller?
I'd say the Switch controller. It's the most ergonomic, just like the feel.
No one in their right mind has ever said they like a Switch controller because it's awful. If it's a Joy-Cons, they have drift and they're uncomfortable. If it's the Pro controller, it's just a worse Xbox controller. This guy has to be a console gamer, because who else would say a Switch controller?
Both Bell and Plouf have marked number 5, who will now be removed from the lineup.
I was not confident in eliminating contestant number 5. He kind of slipped up on his own PC specs, and the answers were kind of wishy-washy, but then I remembered, I don't know the specs of my own PC, so we're gonna just hope it works out.
Number 3, what kind of keyboard do you have?
I have a Corsair K95 RGB. It's programmable. And I think in the Corsair software, you can even like do personalized hot switches and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I do know a lot of console gamers who have keyboards now. You walk in, you buy this RGB keyboard, and you plug it into your Xbox or your PlayStation. Number one, what kind of monitor do you have?
I've got 2 Acer monitors. They're very old. I got them for like $100 6 years ago.
Sweet. Okay.
And then the third one I just found in our storage, and like I said, it's got a dead line in the middle of it. But I just use that for like OBS and Discord. So it's vertical. So like on one side I'll have the YouTube chat for when I'm streaming, and then on the other side OBS. So they kind of overlap a little bit.
Number 3, if you could change one thing about your setup, what would it be?
That's a good question.
There's a lot of things, but one, probably just like a much better graphics card. I think that's what I'm lacking the most.
Number 4, do you own a console right now?
Yeah, I own a Switch, and I play at university with some friends.
Number 4, what mouse are you using right now?
I usually use the MX Master 3. I just find I do a lot of like engineering stuff, so it's really good for spreadsheets and Word and other things like that.
The thing about the MX Master is that it's actually a really nice mouse. I know that it's more for working. Maybe he mostly uses an MX Master 3 to just like do stuff on his The thing about the MX Master is that it's actually a really nice mouse. I know that it's more for working. Maybe he mostly uses an MX Master 3 to just like do stuff on his computer, and then he games with a controller. I game with a controller probably 50-50. Okay. Number 1, do you have a desk pad? And if so, what does it look like?
Oh no. Yes, I have a desk pad. It's a giant Genshin Impact desk pad.
That's a gamer. Yeah, that's a gamer.
As soon as they did not want to answer what kind of desk pad they had, I was like, oh yeah, they're a PC gamer.
Number 1, what's the most recent release you've played?
The most recent game I've played is actually probably Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
They're all console gamers.
You can be both.
Number 4, what's the best console of all time?
In my experience, I like the not the N64, the GameCube. It's just nostalgic, Double Dash, like being able to play 2 people Mario Kart. That was my favorite.
Okay, contestants 1, 3, and 4, please show me your gamer stance when you're computing.
I'm pretty good. Like, or I guess.
Oh, interesting. That was a good last question. Okay, Julie, go ahead.
I guess.
I don't hunch.
I get a real hunch.
You get a
nice.
Now that there are only 3 people left in the lineup, Bell and Plouffe will make their final guess as to who they think is the hidden console gamer.
I think that the console gamer is 3, and that's mostly because of the sleeper PC answer. I think if they were more of a PC gamer, they would have given me a more complex answer of what exactly was in the sleeper.
I think that the console gamer is number 4.
Really?
Because Nintendo. If you're a Nintendo gamer, you play Nintendo your whole life, you're never going to be brave enough to adventure to PC.
If one of these 2 people is the console gamer, they are going to stay in the lineup. If they are a PC gamer, they're going to take a step back.
No!
Let's go.
Why?
I did
Why
it.
4? Why 4?
I did it.
Aside from Nintendo.
It was a university, Nintendo, the brother stealing stuff. I was like, PC gamers wouldn't let that happen. You would've brought everything.
That's fair.
You would've brought everything with you.
I'm Thomas. I'm a console gamer. I do actually have a PC, but that was real. But I just mostly play console.
I can't believe I got it right. Actually, no, I can believe it. I'm great at this. I could smell him a mile away, no doubt in my mind, at all.
Feels bad that I was tricked. I was so confident it was 3. I thought they messed up for sure when they did the whole controller thing, like what's your gamer pose like? He's a big Rocket League gamer, yeah, so it really makes a lot of sense.
How does it feel? You tricked them.
It feels pretty good. Yeah, I was happy that I was able to fool at least one of them. The second I saw Bell looking at me funny, I knew I wasn't able to get him.
I can't wait to come back and win round 2.
Yeah, better luck next time, Ploof.
And thanks to our sponsor,
Seasonic. As one of the leading manufacturers of power supplies in the world, their products are super reliable and backed by a manufacturer's warranty of up to 12 years, all while being transferable, meaning you're protected even if you buy used. The Core V2 GX is the newest addition to their entry-level lineup, perfect for first-time or budget-conscious buyers. The focused V4 GX amps things up with the addition of their patented hybrid silent fan control, letting you extend its life due to an optimized number of fan rotations. Both models are fully modular, 80+ gold rated, and feature a new OptiSync design, which enhances heat dissipation for better cooling. Learn more by using our links in the description and choose Seasonic to be the power supply pal of your next upgrade.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like competitions like this, check out our video, PC or no PC.
Everyone cheer.
Woo!
Bread and wine. Bread and wine.
I bought this keyboard for $28 on the TikTok shop. Now you could get good cheap keyboards. I just don't know like this cheap. They market it as like a super responsive, low latency gaming keyboard. It's probably not that. It doesn't matter how low latency your keyboard is. That's never going to be a deciding factor in a game, but still. It's got an all plastic construction, but it still feels good and looks pretty good. USB Type-C, good sign. Kick out feet. Wait, hold up. Is this hot swap? Okay, yes, it's technically hot swap, but only for these like weird proprietary switches, so it's not really hot swap. Low-key, I'm not mad at it though. These switches actually sound pretty decent. And the stabilizers, you're not gonna find a $30 keyboard that has better sounds than that. Could it feel a little higher quality, a little bit less hollow? Sure. But for like less than 30 bucks, this is probably...
It's time for me to take some accountability of what happened over this last week or so. The advice that I've been giving has been absolutely terrible. Over the past 2 months, if anyone has ever asked me a question about building with a high-end graphics card, I would typically say something like, you should probably wait since RTX 50 series is right around the corner. Now hear me out. This whole thing could have gone very differently. Up until a few days ago, there was at least a chance that the 50 series would come out swinging and be an actual generational improvement over the 40 series. Nvidia could have blown us away with 20 to 30% improvement gains without using AI. And maybe they could have sneaked in a little extra VRAM than what the rumors were suggesting. They could have also launched with more than 6 RTX 5090s per store. But literally all of that was completely wrong. And to top it off, with Nvidia discontinuing discontinuing several RTX 40 series cards, the price of those has been going up. So yeah, my bad for assuming this massive company would have at least had a competent GPU launch. And you want to know what else is massive? My hope that AMD comes and saves the day.
If you get caught using burner accounts to defend yourself on social media, you get clowned on a little bit, like it's a little sad. They caught Elon using a voice changer on a live stream on the platform he owns to defend himself. And it's not even a good voice changer.
I don't hate the fucking big tech bros. Because out of all of them, Elon is the only one that's giving all of these crackheads a fucking...
Now that I listen to it back, it doesn't even seem like he used a voice changer. Elon, you thought we wouldn't notice this. Why can other brands put a 120Hz display on cheap phones, but Apple can't? Samsung and LG manufacture basically all the displays for every popular phone. And let's say this whole circle is all the displays that they manufacture. They're obviously going to provide a lot of displays for their own devices, a lot for Xiaomi, a lot for Google, a lot for OnePlus. They also provide displays for smaller brands, brands that might not be popular in the US, the brands that you're talking about in this comment. But the thing with those brands is they're not selling as many phones as Apple. So they can buy, let's say, 100,000 displays from Samsung and LG, put out the phone, sell.
If you guys missed episode 4 of Facebook Flip, we lost money.
So we can just...
Oh yeah, just fully test it.
Do it all at once.
Combine. So I throw a 3090 Ti on it. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
But okay, so
I mean, we.
Go ahead.
I don't think on the side, but you should have the little RGB glow around on this thing.
So I think this one's a little bit newer than some of the other ones we've got. Yeah, look at the value is XR. I would be really happy with that because I don't think we're gonna need to put.
Okay guys, hopefully you enjoyed that little bit of a cleaning montage. It wasn't too much work. The only thing we technically had to put money into was the thermal paste.
Yep. We just used some Arctic MX4 and that's like maybe $5 a tube. But yeah, I don't know about you all, but I'm ready to game on this thing because the 2080 Super is a card that Matt and I ran in our PCs forever and we know that they're good 1440p cards. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Game time.
All right guys, so we are playing some and and I wanted to make it look kind of natural, have it on an actual setup, and I even launched Helldivers so that it's in the game, which I think may help sell it. And today, I'm just gonna be using a smartphone to actually take the pictures, just a Google Pixel. Really, a lot of people overthink the whole photo thing. The big thing is just get plenty of pictures, don't just post 1 or 2, and don't post them from like the weirdest angles and whatnot. Try to actually, you know, get the PC completely in the photos. So I'm gonna do one where it's kind of just back with like the full setup. And I want to make sure that I really get the PC in it is like the main focal point because we're not selling a full setup, we're selling a PC. And then obviously when you go to make the listing, once you're done with the photos, just make sure the listing is just nice and long. There's no reason to make it really short and just say gaming PC, you don't know the CPU, GPU, like put all the specs, put if there's any problems with it, and then put the good things about it, like what kind of games will it play, at what resolution, does it have Wi-Fi or not, does it come with anything, and then boom, you're good to go, list it for the price. Resolution, does it have Wi-Fi or not, does it come with anything, and then boom, you're good to go, list it for the price that you want. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my photos and say, the people that are flipping for a living, that's pretty bad, but for guys like us that are doing it for fun, we're super excited to say we're selling this PC today, and it's only been about 2 weeks since we listed it. So for the people that are flipping for a living, that's pretty bad. But for guys like us that are doing it for fun, that's pretty good.
Compared to the last flips that took, what, 3 months to actually sell? And the fact that we bought this on eBay, brought it to our local market, and just said, go. And it sold in 2 weeks is actually pretty impressive. We're profit. Why didn't for this?
All right, guys, I'm about 10 minutes away to stop largest though. This is they kind of this swings open. That's so cold. Flip customer so far. Guys, towards the next
money, we're gonna try to build this in. If
you also our twitch.tv/.